Hey, Utah fans, it's Jed Wonderly coming at you again with the Utah Sports Report. And we're going to talk about Utah's schedule and try to guess, educatedly, I hope, at what their record might be at the end of the year. The extreme Utah fan in me is going to guess 12-0 right now without even going over this, but come back and stay here through the break, or come back after the break if you don't mind missing some cool highlights. We're going to send you to our new highlight. We got some refreshed highlights this year that my son put together for me, along with a new brand at the end. So check it out. Hope you like it, and we'll see you on the other side.
For a first down.
Nice. That's the shot I'm talking about.
There it is. Over the middle. It's caught. Touchdown. Devon Valet.
That's beautiful, man.
I'd get Carlson a touch on the block. Carlson from deep, and we're tied.
A win. This is a victory lap of sorts for the Super Senior.
Ginormous double A.
Alrighty, Utah fans, and to anybody else who happens to be watching this, if you're a college football fan, good on you. Hopefully, Utah's going to be the next team who has not yet been in the CFP to make the CFP this year. Hope you enjoyed those highlights, and I'm thinking we're going to have plenty more highlights this college football season because we got some great talent, and I think we're going to do really well. But let's see how well we might do. Let's check this out. So, Utah starts off with, if you're a fan, you should know this, Florida down in the swamp, baby. Yeah, that's it. I'm going. Are you going to be there? So check this out. I want 2022 there next year. That'd be 2 years in a row that we won. And it's going to start off at the Swamp in Florida in Gainesville. Now, it's going to start at 7 o'clock, so it won't be the absolute hottest part of the day. And the other thing it won't be is dry, like we're used to here in Utah. It's going to be quite humid. I just spent a few days down in Orlando last week. Business, not fun, but it was still fun. And, it was humid as crap. Holy cow. Step outside of a building and it's like somebody threw a hot, wet blanket on you. So, hopefully, the Utes will stay very hydrated and they won't succumb to cramping and things like that can happen with extreme weather changes. So we're taking on the Gators. And the Gators, I looked at recently, is ranked 30th, I think. I can't remember the poll. It might have been an ESPN thing. I can't remember. But a lot of people, a lot of prognosticators, including me, have us in the top 10. Yes, I'm a prognosticator. Top 10. That's what I'm going with. We are top 10. Hopefully top 4 at the end of the season. So, yeah, top 4. 4. Okay. So, if we're going to be that good, if we are that good, we need to start off fast. We can't have any offensive line issues like we seem to usually start off with, start kind of slow on that part of the offense, but hopefully we can come out of the gate kicking some butt, both sides of the ball, and hopefully our special teams is much better this year. And I am going to predict that we beat Florida. Florida has a new head coach, so it's going to be their first game. Of course, they'll be, probably have some adrenaline going, be fired up to play for their new head coach, and it is at home. So we will definitely have some challenges to overcome. Not dismissing the fact that they have a lot of 4- and 5-star talent on that team. So I'm going to say that we're going to take care of Florida, hopefully by a couple of touchdowns or more. But I'll take any win. on the road, especially against a solid, usually top 4 or 5 SEC team. So I think we're 1-0 after the Florida game, although that could be a stumbling block. Let's hope not. That said, if we lost that one and ran the table, I think, and then of course won the Pac-12 championship game, baby. If we did do that, I believe that we would be in the CFP, college football playoffs. So we're going to go with that. 1-0 after Florida. Then we come home and face a very tough SUU team. Sorry, SUU fans, I was being sarcastic. That should be a game where we just, get a lot of our, newer people involved who aren't already on the too deep. I think some of our 3 and 4 fourth string guys, 3rd and 4th string guys will get some time in that game. I think we win that one by, a large margin. We might even score in the 50s on that one. Who knows? Whittingham doesn't like to run up the score, so you never know. It could be a little more reasonable. But I think we'll do very well against them. We'll be 2-0. So 2-0 after the SUU game. After that, we have SDSU, our 3rd game this year, just like they were last year. We should have won, and I'm guessing would have won if Cam had started the game. He led us to a comeback, went to triple overtime, and couldn't quite pull it out. That said, we are very, very talented, very good. We've got them at home this year, and I think we get them probably fairly comfortably. I'm hoping, 3, maybe 4 touchdowns, but it may only be 2. They're usually a pretty solid team. I don't know how good they're going to be this year, but I don't think it's going to matter. We're winning that one, no doubt. So 3-0 after SDSU. Then our 4th game is ASU down in Sun Devil Stadium. Now, I still think they're in quite a bit of disarray, and I think that we're going to take that one. They're not getting a lot of pub, although, they're not exactly expected to finish last. I think they're expected to maybe finish 4th in our division, behind us, USC, and UCLA. So I think we're 4-0 after that, although, again, it's a road game. It is a Pac-12 team, and you never know. But hopefully, we continue. Second half of last year's game, we won. We outscored them 28-0. So hopefully we continue that scoring trend, and maybe we beat them 56-0 because we'd score 28 again in the first half and 28 again in the second half without giving up any points. Highly unlikely. I say that somewhat facetiously. So I think it'll probably be a respectable win for us. Now, game 5. Oregon State at home. That's going to be one of those games where we want to come out and just really kind of impose our will and show them that last year their win against us was a fluke. So I think we're gonna take care of them, and hopefully it'll be kind of a nice little spanking, if you will. So 5-0 after that. UCLA, it's almost, if it's not a trap game, it's darn close to one. I think UCLA right now is a lot of people expect them to be pretty good, and that game is at UCLA, and we have USC the next week at home, and USC is supposed to be very talented. A lot of people have them in the top 10 or 15. A lot of new players and a new coaching staff on that USC team. But I think there's going to be so much talent that they will be very, very good. Although I think I'm going to take them. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're talking about UCLA right now. I had to mention USC because that's why UCLA could kind of be considered a trap game. We could be like looking ahead a little bit. Hopefully we're not, but there might be a few little peeks into the future with USC coming up. that could be a possible college game day game. I'm sure there's some other good games on that day, but if USC and Utah are both undefeated going into that game, then we'll both be top 10, and I wouldn't doubt at all but what that's a college game day game. Now, that said, UCLA, it will probably be a challenge. I do think we handled their quarterback, Dorian Thompson Robinson. I think that's his name. I think we handled him very well last year. He's talented, and I don't know who they've got around him this year. They still have that really good running back. Can't remember his name. Number 24. Really very solid, fast, big. I mean, he's good. But with all that said, to me, I feel like we should win. In fact, I was talking with my daughter, who is half of the Joe versus Joe podcast, and they have a YouTube channel. Try to remember to link that on in the comment section below, or down below the video, so that you can check them out. They're more of a college football overall podcast and show, rather than focusing on Utah, even though they're Utah fans. I'll let you in on that secret. So, I think the UCLA game, because it's away and because UCLA, they were 8-4 last year and they are good. I think that could be a game where, even though we're favored by a bit, that definitely gives us some problems, and hopefully not so many that we lose. But I'm going to say that's a toss-up, coin flip. Hopefully Utah proves me wrong and we do better than what I'm kind of think we might. Now USC the next game. That's at home. If we're undefeated, they've got that new coach and a whole bunch of new players. I think 8 players stuck around. So they got almost their whole roster is brand new. They've got a quarterback who is rated higher than Cam, so I hope Cam goes out and shows them that the experts who rate players and whatnot are wrong. And I hope that, we just go out and make a statement. That could be a very good statement game. If we go out and we dominate them, they played pretty well in the first half, but last year. But, I think we dominated them in the second half, and we won fairly handily. And I think if we could do that, maybe a little better this year, probably not, because Lincoln Riley is a fair bit better coach than, the other guy. Can't think of his name right now, but Helfer or something. I can't remember. Begins with an H. But definitely a better coach. And so I don't think that'll happen. But hopefully we beat him by 10 points to 2 touchdowns, and any more would be a bonus. A win's a win, though, as I say. So at this point, we could be 6-1 or 7-0. And we're going into Washington State, at Washington State. That's a Thursday night game. So, and let me just check something here real quick. It's a Thursday night game, and I think, so we've got 12 days to prepare for that, since the USC game's on the 15th, Washington State's on the 27th. And so we're going to be able to, I think, be rested. Maybe if we have some players dinged up, get them healthy. So we should take care of Washington State fairly easily. They lost their starting quarterback. He transferred to, I can't remember, somewhere in conference, maybe Arizona, if I remember correctly. And after Washington State, we have Arizona at home. Now, if you recall last year, the Arizona game was a game that was much closer than it should have been, thanks to our special teams, who had a punt blocked, and I believe they ran it into the end zone. Yeah, so it's hopefully our special teams is fixed from last year, because it was bad. Not the return part of our special teams, because Covey was awesome, but the punt team, not very good. So there's that. I expect to show Arizona that last year, as close as it was a fluke, and that we will absolutely, I don't know about dominate, but close to it. We'll have a solid victory for sure. And then we play Stanford. Who knows if Stanford's going to be much better than they were last year? I don't know. I know that they're not going to like the fact that they lost to us 52-7 at their place. So I think they're going to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to probably play with a little more fire. So if we can squash that, if we can have a fire hose and just put that out real quick, I think we'll also win that handily. Now, how handily, I don't know. Hopefully it's a 2 to 3 or 4 touchdown kind of win. More the better for us. And hopefully that tunes us up for our last big game of the season until we get to the postseason, where we have the Pac-12 championship game that we should be participating in if my prognostications are correct. So, Oregon. At Oregon. This is at Autzen Stadium. That's a tough place to play. They're loud, very boisterous crowd. And, it's second to last game of the season. So, obviously both teams will have had a long season and, could have some injuries. Hopefully neither of us have significant injuries, and that we'll be mostly playing at full strength. And, Oregon is another team that has a brand new head coach. And so I'm thinking by then most of the team will have really internalized that system, and they'll be playing very well by that point. Supposedly they are loaded with athletes. I mean, I have no doubt that they are, because it's Oregon. And they've got money out the wazoo with Phil Knight. But I think that regardless, I think, we're definitely the favorite. And I think we're going to go up there and beat Oregon for the third time in a row. Strike 3 and you're out, Oregon. Then we come home, rest up, practice, and go to Colorado. And Colorado is our last game of the season. By the way, if you've never been to a game in Colorado, the stadium's, not bad. But Boulder's got some great eating places, got a nice little sports bar, and the fans are good. So, like when I went to the game a few years ago, I think 4 years come this, November 26th or so, it was a fun time. A little cold and snowy when we went, but fun time, good fans. They were very respectful of their butt kicking that we gave them. I think 37-7 or something like that. So, I think we're going to... Colorado was also a little closer than it should have been this last year. And I think hopefully we're going to go in there and hopefully we'll be at least 10-1, if not 11-0. And I think if we're 10-1, then we probably need the win to secure our spot in the Pac-12 championship game. And if we're 10-1, and depending on who beat us, like if USC beat us and they're undefeated, then we need them to lose, or we won't even get to the Pac-12 championship game. So there's that. But let's pretend that we beat USC, and if we're 10-1, we get the win, and we're in the Pac-12 championship game. Hopefully we're 11-0, but that's so hard to do. So hard to do. No matter how good you are, it's very, very hard. Especially when you're playing Florida on the road. You've got UCLA, was much better last year, and they're supposed to be even better this year on the road. And then we've got, USC, who's got a much better coach and a lot more talent this year. They were kind of thin in some spots last year and have been for a few. Helfrich, I think, was the former coach's name. Yeah, Mark Helfrich. Anyway, so hopefully our destiny is in our hands when we play Colorado. That's my hope. And if it is, even if it isn't, we need to go out, assert our will onto theirs, and beat them. So I think worst case scenario, we end up 11-1. 10-2 is very possible because we have a few tough games on our schedule, as I've mentioned. But I'm going with 11-1 on the realistic side, and the absolute huge Utah fan in me is going to go with 12-0. I'm thinking 11-1. 12-0 would be so cool, though. So that's it. And then I think we're going to go to the Pac-12 championship game and win it for the second year in a row. That'll be 4 years in a row, 4 full seasons in a row. We can't count 2020 because it was 5 games. So that would mean that the last 4 seasons, full seasons, we will have been the South Division representative in the Pac-12 championship game. Very cool, very good consistency there as far as our performance is concerned, and to win it 2 years in a row would be great. And hopefully, with a 12-1 record after that game, possibly 13-0, I think we're absolutely in the college football playoffs. But at 12-1, hopefully the Big 12 champion is at least 12-1, if not 11-2. And in either case, I would think that we would be the ones to go to the CFP. So I am picking us as the dark horse to get to the CFP. There's a lot of good teams out there. It's almost a guarantee that the SEC is going to get 2 teams of the 4. The Big Ten is certainly going to get one there. Clemson is supposed to be greatly improved from last year, and they started playing better toward the end of last season. So we can't rule them out. And you never know. Texas A&M is a very good team. But could the SEC, and comment down below on any of this. I want to know what you guys think. I want to hear what you guys think our record's going to be. And if you have us losing to anybody, let me know who you think we're going to lose to. Also, let me know if you think we're going to win the Pac-12 championship game. And let me know if you think we're going to make it to the CFP. But, you've got SEC with Alabama. Everybody's their consensus number 1, basically. Georgia's supposed to be very good again. And then Texas A&M is also very good. And don't sleep on Arkansas. So, I think, Alabama, Georgia, and Texas A&M could be 3 of the 4 best teams in the country. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully we're better than at least one of them. Probably Texas A&M. And then there's Ohio State, who's supposed to be very good. A lot of, experts are picking them as number 2 right now. And we know they have a lot of talent. We saw them in, I wasn't in person, but we saw them personally last year when I also saw them lose to Michigan, where they didn't look all that great. But wasn't the case against us. And who knows how good Michigan's going to be. Maybe they lost a couple of key players from last year, but who knows? Maybe they have some plug-and-play people to fill in for them. So anyway, it's not an easy road to the CFP, but I think we have a road, and I think it's paved. And I think that as long as our car doesn't break down, little metaphor there, I think we can do it. I'm not betting on it. I would, but I'm not down in Vegas. Maybe if I go down in Vegas between now and then, I'll put a little money on it. Yeah, I think I will. But I think this is our year. I'm going to say, regardless of all the other teams who are very good and could possibly do it if it wasn't for us, because we're better. Let's go! Go Utes! That's it for this episode. We'll see you next time. Next time I'm going to do a little rundown on something else, always Utah related. So check it out. Please like, subscribe, share the video. Also, like I said, leave your comments. I want to know who you think Utah will lose to, if you think they're going to lose a game this year, and what our record's going to be, and will we make it to the CFP. Please share that down below. Again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're going to be providing lots of great Utah content all year, all throughout the football season, the basketball season. Our basketball team's looking much improved over last year, so they should be really fun to watch. And gymnastics as well. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. And thanks for watching. Adios, and go Utes.